All right, it's time now to answer your legal questions. You can call us now, 256-536-0077. Heath Brooks with our friends at Timberlake League and Brooks now joining us this morning. And today we're talking a little bit about dog bite cases, which is something a lot of people are interested in.
Yeah, they can be scary. You can have a lot of problems when you get bitten by a dog that can be long lasting. So we're ready to answer questions from callers, and I believe we've already got one or two on the line.
We've got Bob on the line. Bob, what can you tell us?
Yes, good afternoon or good morning to you. I'm not talking about dog bites, but I am talking about identity theft. One of my neighbors has learned somehow that his property has been stolen, being his home property, and there's some large dollars that have been weighed against that property since they actually took it. So my question is, what do you do in a situation like that? The other question I have is, how do you guard against having such a thing as your personal identity thief, if you will?
Yeah, Bob, can I ask you, is it the personal property or is it his house, real estate property?
Well, in my case, it would be any of my properties, my financial properties, my home. I do own my home fully.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the first thing you need to be concerned about is if you're concerned that your identity is going to be stolen, you can put fraud alerts on all of the reporting agencies. So Experian is a reporting agency. You can make sure TransUnion is a reporting agency. You can make sure that you have fraud alerts so that any new account cannot be opened up without your prior authorization. If you do have something that is stolen, whether that's real estate or whether that's your personal property, the first thing you need to do is you need to contact the police, because oftentimes there's insurance embedded within your homeowner's insurance policy. There's a potential insurance embedded within your credit card company policies. But before you get to those types of insurance, you need to file a police report so that you have the evidentiary platform to be able to show these insurance carriers that you actually had your personal property or your real estate stolen. So it's essential to record it.
Okay. So Bob, did you get all your questions answered there?
Well, no, I did not at this point. I have one more to go, and it would be there's companies out there that will scan the internet, both the black side of it and the regular side of it, to see if your name and information pops up in a negative manner.
Yeah.
Are they reliable? Are they something that you would consider buying into, because it is a insurance policy that you pay for?
Yeah, that's right. And it's one of those evils as we move through our technological age in this world, is that who can you trust? I don't trust anything off of the internet, generally speaking. I don't trust any information I receive off the internet until I have properly vetted that information. But in terms of hiring a third party to ensure that your information is not stolen, I don't really know. I can tell you that generally speaking, what you really need to do is make sure you have those fraud alerts up.
All right, thanks so much, Bob. Getting back to the issue of dog bites, what's just some basic knowledge that people can know about cases?
One of the things about a dog bite is that you have the one chance rule. So if you are bitten by a dog and that dog has never bitten anyone before, you may or may not be able to recover depending upon the circumstances of the bite. So one of the things when you get bitten by a dog, the first thing you obviously need to do is you need to go to the hospital, because a lot of times there's bacteria in the dog bites, and so you can get infections and things. But the second thing is figure out and ask questions about whether or not that dog has attacked anyone before. I oftentimes see situations where somebody comes over to a house and the dog bites the person that's coming over to the house, but it's never had any issue at all before. So you may have a difficult time recovering in that kind of scenario. But if this dog has bitten folks before or has been aggressive with their tendencies, then there's oftentimes you can recover for that. You also need to make sure, a lot of insurance companies now, particularly on homeowners insurance policies, which is where you recover damages, will sometimes exclude certain breeds of dogs. So that's something you need to be mindful of.
All right, a lot to unpack. Well, if you didn't get your question answered, remember you can always call our friends over at Timberlake League in Brooks. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it, as always.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
We'll be right back.